I definitely wrote a verse to that beat, man. I love that joint. That's one of the classics.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, we in it. You know what it is. Another episode of Authentic N-Words. B, what's up with you?
Not much, man. We're taking it day by day, just trying to feel what's going on out there in the world, what to do next. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know,
That's a fact.
especially when you move in. I'm talking a little shit now, but especially when you're moving in regards where it's like it ain't nobody on your heels. So
Yeah, man, the back of these joints real clean.
they type shit.
Yeah, man, we'll step on the back of these joints. You know, you be in the line. Yeah, somebody step on the back. She's like, damn, Jay, what you doing, man? Like, slow down. But you ain't close enough, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just figure it out. Keep pushing the thing,
Yeah.
Seeing
Sure.
what's relevant, seeing what's necessary.
Yeah, man.
I'm good though.
I'm glad.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. It's been strange. It's been a strange couple weeks. Currently, we somewhere in the world doing what we do in the middle of Denver. Yesterday, so the part that I didn't, in the community, we recently went through some things, you know what I'm saying? A lot of violence is taking place. There's a lot of shit happening. I went to a funeral yesterday, but I went to a funeral on my daughter's birthday. That was the other thing. Like, my daughter was getting older, and yet somewhere I'm in the community, going to the funeral of a parent who lost a child. So even that is an energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't know, strange times. Other than that, like, I'm outside, roaming around. Story doesn't change too much other than the parts that we don't explain to people. Yeah. So other than that, they might think, oh, but they just doing the same. Everything is good. Yeah, but nah. So yeah, that's kind of what it is. That's kind of what it is right now. Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's been a pretty consistent. I mean, obviously, like the whole circle is pretty consistent. I mean, that's what we're doing out here, but
Yeah.
it seems to have been a pretty consistent theme throughout this year for you. Myself as well, randomly, but
death is nature.
yeah.
It's natural.
So I guess, is this something that, are these people close to you? Is it something like that you just wind up, getting to know these folks through your professional life, or is it a combination of both, personal, professional?
It's a combination of both. So since living out here, I've been to a couple funerals for people that I was in the presence of. I didn't know them. I didn't know them through and through, like many of the people in the community, but I knew people who considered me to be close that knew them. And because of who I am and what I do, I know it sounds, it's like, they asked me to come, and so I was there. And in each one, there's a very unique, just story and set of circumstances that followed each. But I think that it's the reminder, like for me, like whether or not like a person, like you could drive past a funeral, right? Like you could, like I've had this happen a couple times in this city. Like I'm on my way somewhere and you get stuck in traffic because there's a funeral procession, right? And it's like, and in mind, your natural instinct is like, God damn, man. But then you gotta be reminded like, oh shit, somebody passed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like how dismissive we are of death now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about, we are so desensitized. Like for real, like we don't hold a lot of honor to it no more. You know what I'm saying? Even like something as small as like you could be somewhere and people be like, could we hold a moment of silence for the people that we've recently lost? And you look over and see somebody on their phone. And it's like, yeah, I get it. I get it. But at the same time, it's like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Who knows what it is? I be telling people all the time, I think we just like imagine like how easy it is now to know that like at one point in history, and not that long ago neither, we use the word history and it should sound mad far, but I'm talking like maybe like, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, when the camera on your phone was still new. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you could see somebody harmed in the street and your reaction was a lot different. And I know this is a conversation people have had many times, but like, it's crazy. And so now to know that like, you could walk past somebody bleeding in the street and possibly like, depending on, how you're living, if you're like a straight up citizen, you're like, oh my God, I gotta call 911, save him. Now the first instinct is to pull your phone out. Now separate from that, then you be on the internet somewhere and you can see somebody get smoked in a video and it could be viral, but it's like, you don't even care. It's like, go to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? And in mind, you only think about it because then I'll be in rooms, part of the job with like young people who have ended up in precarious situations with like firearms and stuff like that, right? And I always ask, like, so had you not gotten, caught or whatever with the joint or whatever, or ended up where you was ended up at, like you was prepared to use it? And most of them will be like, yeah. And I'm like, all right. Like I believe that you're prepared to let it fly. I don't believe that you're prepared for what might come with it afterwards. You know what I mean?
That's facts.
Facts. Yeah. So yeah, it's just the whole equation of it all. It's just a long string of things that come with that shit. You know what I mean? So, And then mind you, then just because, just my mind is on it, and so there's so then I'm sitting somewhere. So yeah, I'm at the funeral. The young person who passed was 15. All right. And coincidentally, around the same passing of that young person, it was a young man, it was another young woman who also lost their life, the day prior. All right. She was around 18, 19. So, mine is all within the, about 2 weeks or so. This last 2 weeks or so. So then one of the things that's been viral through Denver is there was a thing floating around and everybody was like, oh, it's like 21 murders or something like that in the last 30 days, right? Now, the thing is I'm like, I understand, like, let's just go down this hole, right, just for the sake of doing it. Like, why do we why is the statistic, like, knowing that motherfuckers don't really care about, like, we care about numbers when it comes to money and shit like that, but the truth is we don't care about, like, statistic numbers. Like, not niggas. You know what I'm saying? Not people in the streets. Like, you don't care enough about statistics to go read a paper, read a report, about what's happening in your community, stuff like that, right? Barely want to hear it on the news, right? But we love the statistic of, like, violence, right? And, like, the murder rate. We love it. Like, I'm talking about niggas on the city. What?
The craziest city.
Killing everybody.
Yeah.
Even though, like, for real, most of the cities, like, depending on where you from, the truth is like, this city probably ain't never even been in the top 10. Denver ain't been in, like, the top 10. I don't believe so. I don't believe Denver's been in the top 10 as far as murder rate. And a lot of places have it. But I'm only...
theft?
Yeah, that happens a lot here. Like, a lot of things. Now, not vehicle theft. And then, mind you, I be feeling like, I don't know where the Kia boy shit started at, but mind you, I done ran across a bunch of the young dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like, part of the Kia boys, like, oh, word, no doubt, to know that, like, I ain't running around taking nobody's vehicle and shit, but if that's your squad or whatever, like, y'all to taught the whole world how to get away with these kids. Y'all watched the woman break down so crazy one day. Oh my God, my car's been stolen 4 times. And I'm talking about she was in pieces. And she was just going about the fact that like she couldn't get like her insurance was fucked up. Like they wouldn't even insure it no more because of the type of car she had, because of how easily it's stolen. And because of that, she can't get coverage on it no more. And so in turn, it just kept getting stolen. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that wasn't even about the point. You know, it's just theft, vehicle theft, crimes in the city. But the murder rate, I'm talking about niggas will argue you down about that. What? We've killed everybody. Everybody's dead here. And it's like, no, we're not. You're not dead neither. You know what I'm saying? But like, why does that matter so much? And then I think about the fact that it's like, and I know why it matters so much. Like, it's really a rhetorical question. It's asinine for anybody who's watching this and they're like, oh, he doesn't know the answer to that? Like, well, maybe you don't. Maybe you just needed to better articulate it. I don't know. But the reality is, like, we all want to believe that, like, we're from the most dangerous place. Like, that's what it is. Everybody wants to believe that where they're from is the most dangerous. Where I'm telling you, niggas die every day. And because if it's the most dangerous, if you're here, then your survival means that you're one of the thorough ones. Yeah. That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Like the real answer. You know what I'm saying?
Cut from a different cloth, like, you know, like I'm gritty, like I've been through some shit or whatever. It's tough out here. It's hard. Like I overcame. I pulled myself up by the bootstraps. It's the same dumbass, you know what I'm saying, story, rhetoric or whatever that people be screaming.
And let's not get it fucked up, because I don't want to misconstrue. Because like you could really come from somewhere where it was really, really, really hard. You know, I'm talking about there was nothing but violence everywhere. There was fiends everywhere. You used to get bit by rats on the ankle when you slept at night. You you had a cockroach lay eggs in your ear. All kinds of stuff. I've been around and I know. Mind you, is that my story? No. Have I been through some shit? Absolutely. But it's about the point that everybody wants to be able to tell I had it the worst story. Like, think about it. And mind you, I'll circle back to the point, but like, take this as an example. We love our mothers. Anybody, you know, very few of us don't love our mothers. You know what I'm saying? Matter, you know, whether she was the greatest mother, the worst mother, you have a tendency to just love your mom by nature, right? Think of how we love the part of the story of the artist who tells you that his mother smoked coke. As horrible as a detail as it is, but for whatever reason, it resonates. Like, why did we love it when Tupac told us that his mom was
because even at the crack fiend, mama,
you always was a black queen, mom, and we was all like, yes, Athena, yes, you was.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, we love that part of the story. Like, we love the struggle, you know what I'm saying? We love the pain. And mind that's important. But why is it that separate from the story, like that's the only time that we now want to pay attention to like things that happen in society that like our government and our cities and our states have a say-so in, like statistics. Like you don't give a fuck about it until it's about something like that. Now you don't give a fuck about like the rate of like people overdosing for fentanyl.
Yeah.
That's not a statistic you keeping up with, especially if you in the streets getting money in the bando or in the trap. You don't care about it, especially if you in there cutting up that work with it. You don't give a fuck about it then. But separate from that, as soon as you see what I'm saying? So it's really about and then mind you, and then on the other side of that, so then say you're the parent who loses a child. You think you're gonna give a fuck about hearing that statistic then? Outside of, I hate the violence that's happening in my community.
Right.
You're not gonna be like, hell yeah, especially when one of yours has now become a part of it. You see what I'm saying? It's the backward thinking. Like, we be fucked up, my nigga. Like, we be fucked up out here. And then mind you, like, I don't even want to say, because mind you know, we authentic N-words. So like, we just got to discuss it and what's real. Like, we understand it. Hence the reason we go through all the threads. Yo, we want to be seen as survivors and we want to be seen as thorough and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But on the other side of that, especially if you're out here raising kids, then what?
Craziest part about it is, you don't really want to be seen as an activist. You don't really want to be seen as a community leader. And the way I'm gonna prove it is, look how y'all boosting Charleston White every day.
He out here winning right now.
Everybody, he winning.
Oh my God.
Type of conversation is crazy.
It's crazy.
Right now. He's crazy right now. Like
he's slaying for real.
Yeah,
I can't even.
yeah.
I can't take nothing from him.
But he'd be a prime example because he be letting shit fly wild on the internet. But the truth is, when he be out there, when nobody looking, like looking up the cases or trying to help the community or doing whatever, ain't nobody got nothing to say.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
And let it not be forgotten, he is openly getting on the internet and telling you he told on people.
Yeah.
Like, he represents a thing in this that we've never seen. We've never seen it, man.
But I think it's interesting because
It is.
All right, so he was who he was, right? Like most, I don't know, most people know his story, but. And then when that wasn't working, he said, I'm going to just be on the ignorant stuff. We embrace him with open arms.
We do.
You know what I'm saying?
We do.
And it allowed him to tell him that, like, I duped you guys into believing this, and yet we're still here. Keep going, Charleston.
But how can we be mad?
Charleston.
Our government, yo, man, we say nigga, right? But let's be for real, man. Like, to be niggas, we had to be labeled niggas. To accept this as a term of endearment or however the fuck we use this now, we had to accept it when it was placed on us, right? In order to accept it when it's placed on us, we have to agree to whatever the qualities of a nigga are. If that's the case, then the reality is whatever a nigga is was made by our government. It was made by the white man. That's just true, man. That's just true. Shout out to all my white friends and all that, but like, we just tell it how it is. Like, a nigga had to be made. Like, the nigga was constructed in whatever this is. I say it because when you think about, well, you know, it's face. Hold up. Peace was the science. So what's going on? You good? Huh?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh shit. Shit, nothing. I'm actually filming. We filming a joint at the Authentic N-Words joint right now.
So,
I'll hit you back in a minute. All right, peace. I caught him mad early this morning. My brain was racing and shit. But yeah, the nigga had to be constructed.
Right.
So when you get to like a nigga getting in front of you, giving you the ignorance that you love, why does it resonate so much? Well, if we being honest, this ignorance that we took on, like, it had to be given to us. Or at least the things that were in us that made us not ignorant had to be removed from us. Whatever your perspective might be. You know what I'm saying? That's why we can accept it. Like, the truth is like, all of the things, like, for real, that, like, make a nigga for real, like, I can't even, well, first off, you know, we say black here in America because we don't know what else to call ourselves. Like, that was another thing that was placed on us, but we really don't know what else to call ourselves. We don't know if we should call ourselves original people, you know, for those who, you know, participate in the nation of gods and earths. We don't know if we should call ourselves the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if we should call ourselves the children of God. We don't know if we should call ourselves the Moors. We don't know what the fuck we should call ourselves. And mind you, American black, it just fits. Especially because, you know, prior to whatever this American version of this concentrated melanation didn't exist prior to what we know of slavery or the indigenous people before it. You know what I'm saying? So here we are now. But the things that make the nigga, bro, all of it was given us, man. Like, think about this. Since we just talking about Charleston White. One of the things that makes a nigga is a law from the 1700s. I can't quote the specific date. Somebody watches this, they should be able to find it. But there's a term called meritorious manumission. You ever heard that term?
You said meritorious
manumission. I got you. Just because I would rather just get it correct. Meritorious manumission. Meritorious manumission was a 17th, 18th century Virginia. I'm from Virginia, by the way. Meritorious manumission was a 17th, 18th century Virginia legal policy allowing slaveholders to free enslaved people specifically for good deeds that directly benefited white society. These deeds included saving a white person's life, inventing a profitable tool, or informing on slave revolts. It served to control enslaved populations to incentivize loyalty rather than recognizing humanity. So think about it every time we've ever accepted like somebody who tells on another black person. Knowing that white society is what gave us the police department, it's what gave us our government currently, even though we know that black people played a role in this. And mind you, this is only about historical context. It's not about dividing race. Because mind you, know, we have these conversations with our white friends, our brown friends, our black friends, all of this all the time. But it's important to be able to see things for what they are. So when a nigga could get in front of you and do nigga shit like that, tell on another nigga, mind you, they made the law for us.
He winning off of that shit. He winning off of that shit too. It's crazy.
Like this is why to be the like it's so crazy, man. This is why like the idea of like even when we talk about like gatekeeping, because you know that's another conversation that's recently popped up for everybody that's now having a conversation again through the streets of Denver about gatekeeping and shit. You know, I've been having this conversation for a while now. We can all go back through the clips. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying shady promoters. I've been saying people been in the way trying to hold people back, all of that. But anyway, just the idea of like a gatekeeper, like somebody who is placed at the front of a thing to determine who should come through, right? Think about like the different areas in which gatekeeping could exist in black culture since then. One of the easiest ways in which we've always heard it, house slave, field slave, house nigga, field nigga. Yep. And in mind, you don't be the one in the house and then to learn like, what you trying to get in here for?
Type shit.
Man, you supposed to be out there in that cornfield. You ain't got no business being up on this porch. Man, we've all seen Django.
Type shit. That's so real.
What he doing up on that goddamn horse? I'm talking, he played the fuck out that joint.
He coming in this house? Are you sure now?
You see that?
Yeah.
But that is gatekeeping.
It is.
So when we watch it come down the line in all of its various forms, I'm convinced that like being gangsters is nigga shit. Especially because in order for gangsterdom to start, we had to know how to do it. Mm-hmm. Well, if the history is true, then like, my nigga, when the fuck were we gangsters? Like if history serves us correct, and we know that it doesn't because we know that there's pieces missing, there's pieces that have been moved around, but if the story is just like still relatively the same, right? Just kind of accurate. You had a people here who already existed. You had another group of people who were brought over here by another group of people, and that group of people who brought those people over here also managed to colonize the people who were already here, right? And do this and do that, you know, all across the country with different people. Over here, this group of people might have been fucking cultivating sage, depending on the part of the country you were in. These people over here might have been building railroad tracks. These people over here might have been in Canada going to boarding schools. These people might have been over here in the 13 colonies picking cotton. You know, just all of the various peoples doing various things, right? You might have had this group of Caucasians who wasn't necessarily respected in the whole spectrum, who might have been like allowed to do certain things, like become a part of the police department, you know, because, you know, I think people, you know, don't really know the history of the Irish. You know, mind you, they are correct in when they speak about the things that they had to suffer from the, you know, hands of Caucasians as well. But that's just real shit. But anyway, I say that to simply say, if that's the case, think of what kind of mind you have to do that to even structure that. That's a gangster mindset.
That's facts.
The gangster mindset is not the one who submitted to it.
Type stuff.
No.
Oh, absolutely. And for anybody that may know or have been a part of any three-letter agencies,
no doubt,
federal government stuff, you do realize once you get in there, it's the biggest gang of all.
Facts.
Matter of fact, I was just watching a clip of a dude. He was talking about, he was like, yeah, you know, when you get a Fed case or whatever, he was like, they do not want you to turn your ass in. He was like, them U.S. Marshals get off on catching you, bro. It's the biggest gang out there. They'll let you run and do and tell on yourself or whatever. And then on top of that, he said you can't even bond yourself out of the feds with cash. He said they want straight property. They want to own your shit, dog. That's gangster shit.
That's extreme gangster shit.
Like, it's the biggest one. I mean, look. I'm gonna get a piece of people something. Everybody wanna follow me here. Everybody wanna be like, oh, let's save the planet. Like, you know, like let's get rid of the plastic bags and all of this extra shit, bro. Don't y'all understand that the military is the main culprit for all of this fucking pollution, bro? They the main ones. Just yo, and if you seen it firsthand, bro, like start the truck up. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
They got their own fuel. You know what I mean? Like it's gang shit. It's gang shit at its core. And I think you're right. And I think you're right too. To go back to your earlier point about gatekeeping, I was thinking earlier, correct me if I'm wrong too, yo, getting jumped in or running a drill to get accepted, like that's like gatekeeping right there.
Because
you
you have to complete an initiation or a ritual of some sort in order to be brought through this, right? Mind you, we love the conversation, about the Freemasons. We love the conversation about the Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? We love the conversation about secret societies, right? Going back to gangsterdom, one of the earliest secret societies as niggas that we love first is the mafia. We love the idea of La Kosher Nostra. We love it. Even though in real life, like there's a set of codes, principles, ethics, morals, rules, regulations. You can't even be your lineage has to align back to a specific place. You see what I'm saying? Mind you, very honorable when you look at it. It's like, damn, I wish, mind that, going back to what I was saying earlier, if you're a people who hasn't been stripped of your name, if you haven't been stripped of your God, if you haven't been stripped of your land, if you haven't been stripped of the things that make who you are culturally, then you can hold on to stuff like that. If you have it, then you have to learn that exists. And then you, 9 times out of 10, attempt to mimic it. In this in particular case, when we talk about like gangster shit, and mind you, shout out to all the real niggas in the street. Like, this part don't change. Like, we live in it how we live it, but it's just important to see the truth. Like, we inherited it. Like, it ain't ours. Like, if it coming out of slavery, the earliest stories of the mafia is happening around that time. Jim Crow still exists when we're hearing the stories of Lucky Luciano and all of the mafia families, the 24 families, and they had that big meeting up in New York and the feds were there watching them. Line, Great Depression is not that far down the line. Al Capone, all this shit, it's all in the same time. It's all in the same time. Jim Crow existed at that time. Like, what the fuck? And then to know that, I was having this conversation recently and shit. Like, when people go back to like the proclamation, Emancipation Proclamation, like people go back and actually read it. Like, we weren't freed. Like, we weren't free. Like, we didn't, like, nobody, the Abraham Lincoln, who everybody loved so much, he did not let us go. All he did was make deals with all of the colonies for them to get along with the changes that were being made long enough to them to create a new structure. So you don't have to stop this now. It's just that over time, like gradually, we have to weed things out, stop things. Like, don't just stop your shit now, but, make sure you get your money together, guys. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to bring this thing somewhat to a close until we can reposition this, reshape this, restructure this. We come out of slavery, we go into Reconstructionism, and then we know the Reconstruction area, and we come out of Reconstruction, and then we go into Jim Crow. They found a way, or the black laws, or the black codes, and then we get to Jim Crow. They was like, oh, now we need our niggas back. You know what I'm saying? Or if we need our niggas back, then we got to develop ways to put them back in slavery. This is how you get to being incarcerated. If that's happening at the time, then, and we already know the Italians were here, like, then the reality is like, we had to be brought into that later. You don't even like historically, you don't even hear about us in it until we get to like Bumpy Johnson
type stuff. You know, honestly, hold on. I know it might seem like we all over the place, but it's all in the same conversation.
All in the same spectrum.
If my memory serves me correctly, we damn near would have low key heard about pimping before we heard about really the mad gangster shit. And the only reason I say that is, if you know the story of Iceberg Slim, you know, they kind of loosely made the movie The Mac about him. But if you read the book Pimp, he talk about learning the game from this old man from who was born in the 1800s. And that just goes back to, we not just talking about having plantations that was raising tobacco or cotton. Like we had
facilities that were for breeding.
Yeah. You know, and so that, like, where does that start? I only say that because that's why I feel like look, man, because let's keep it real. Like, when you see a pimp depicted, what do he look like? Most times, do he look like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white man? You know what I'm saying? In business casual clothes? Hell no. Do we look Latino? Nah. Do we look this or that? Nah. It's always generally like a black man.
It is, but not only is that the depiction, but you have to ask yourself, right? Like, because according to scripture, you know, people will use the argument like, oh, you know, selling pussy is the oldest profession in the world.
Yeah.
Right? But when you think about, like, realistically, like logically, like, if the stories of our history are true, right? Then when would giving your woman out in that way save you? Right? Especially when, according to the rules of what this is, slavery, then you own both of us. Like, I can't technically pimp her to you when you own us.
Yeah.
If anything, you would pimp us. Right?
Nice.
All right. This is leading to a place. So if that's the case, when I think about, like, even that, and in mind you, even in that, right? Because before I jumped in my other perspective within it, it's like, to know that, like, if you know the story of like real historical events of like slavery, right? To know that, like, you know, slave masters did it to men and women. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a fact. You know what I'm saying? For the women, you know, it was a combination of, you know, I need to break you, but I also have pleasure with you. For men, it was probably a small piece of pleasure, but it was also about dominance.
Yeah.
Right? So when you think about, like, the moments in which, like the slave master could show up and, like, you've done something wrong, and now he's ready to punish you as the man for whatever reason. And then your woman says, no. I'll take his punishment. And she saves you because she's tired of watching you get whipped.
Yeah.
So the idea is, maybe if I satisfy him like this will save him. I only point it out because when you can think about it like that, then the next jump for me is either we have been freed or we ran, right? And now we're in society and we're trying to figure out how to survive.
That's the point I was getting to with even bringing it up. You know what I'm saying? Because in reality, it's like, yes, you're right. So we got the breeding farms, and then that's inevitably happening. Like, they pimping it. I mean, we getting pimped out for the work.
Facts.
You know, I'm just off of the term or whatever.
Facts.
But you ever seen that Cat Williams skit when he's talking about the slaves getting the basketball skills up in the field and shit? It's like that. We've always been forced to have to adapt. So this is where I see, okay, so we take that, then we move along the timeline or whatever. But shit, you know, they barely even trying to fuck with us. I can't vote. I can't do shit right now, but shit. I might be able to slang a little thing on the side. Now, we passed the point of, like, maybe we free now. Or maybe, you know what I'm saying, I got my freedom type stuff or whatever. And then I remember back and I'm like, okay, this is how I can flip that. The same thing with how I imagine the organized crime shit came around. It's not like somebody was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna just go run up on somebody today. It must have been like, yo, we have a need. You know what I'm saying? There's something that's missing, like, or we need a resource, or like we need some bread, like, and we don't have no way to get it, but this the only way. So we're gonna band together, just like these fools did. You know what I'm saying? And just go, you know what I'm saying, run the game real quick. And now we're running around like gangsters.
The thing is
I
that
don't know if that's true or accurate, but that's the leap for me too. It's like the adaptation came, and then because of how things were, like, we not gonna forget. You know what I'm saying? And if I know anything about black folks, anyways, like we already was inventing shit. You know what I'm saying? We already at the forefront of like flying shit. So
but we're not
be able to.
But that's not what we talking about now.
That's true.
Now, mind you, if necessity is the father of invention, right? Then what we're talking about is adapting. Like none of this, because mind you, even prior to us talking about like the possibility of like the chain of events that could lead to like pimping for black people, the brothel existed. That's what I'm saying. We inherited this.
Yeah.
Like anywhere you look at this, we inherited every part of this. The only part of this that is original to us, I would say it's only two things. Only two, man. Only two. Number one is the paths in which we could acquire knowledge of self. You know what I'm saying? That is specific to us. Like, that's why, I can say, when I think of the chain of teachers that came and brought us what they brought us, like, I look at them like prophets. Like, as far as I'm concerned, the Bible and the Quran are real time, even though, they're said to be set prior before. But, like, you walk down at Elijah Muhammad, you go backwards a little bit more, Sweet Daddy Grace, you go back a little bit more to Noble Drew Ali, you go back a little bit more to know that Nat Turner was a pastor, all kinds of shit. Like our most prolific people were spiritual, they were spiritual warriors, you know what I'm saying? And so, but Elijah Muhammad is said to be the father of black consciousness. Black consciousness is specific to us, that's why it's called that, black consciousness, you know what I'm saying? But the other thing that is specific to us is hip hop culture. Even though I know, the argument about all of the people who were involved in hip hop and all of the different kinds of people, like I totally understandable. But I believe that the frequency that leads us to hip hop originates in the black man and the black woman specifically, period. Wanting to rap, wanting to put these words together in that way. Why, if it's not, you go to any hip hop, you go to or anything within this space, and you think about like the importance of like something hitting. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the drum, whether it's the bass line, whether it's an 808. Why, if that's not about us, then why is the drum outlawed years before when it comes to us? And mine, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. We'll pretend like if that's not us, then how do we get here and how we use it? And that's just one perspective. You know what I'm saying? So like, graffiti came from who?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, what the fuck? Like, what do we, like, in all seriousness, like, in mind, that's not removing saying that there weren't other people here. Yes, hell yeah. We know that the dynamic spread and different people brought different things. But the origination of this, mind you, what's the name of them dudes, man? They got that video on YouTube now. I posted a video of it once. It's a quartet group from like the 1930s. You know what I'm talking about?
I know you're talking about.
If you this song is like it sounds like gospel because they talk about prophets and shit. But if you listen to them, they're rapping. And it's like a cipher for real. Like they rotating. And then I'm tripping because of the video that I made. I'm tripping off the fact that like, this thing has a scar on his face. He got golds. What the fuck? This is hip hop culture.
Yeah.
But this is like the 30s. And because of the time frame and knowing that we have to fast forward into the future before we get to African Bambaataa, You know, for those who keep up with hip hop, you know, he recently passed. That's, you know, I know that's another conversation. We can go down that hole.
No, that's a.
Yeah, I already know. We got to be. It's touchy. It's touchy. We got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? But and we can circle back. But just to finish just to close the loop, until we get to him, we don't even have the term hip hop. That term comes from his lips. Hit being the trend, the hop being the bounce of the music. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't know what to call it then. You know? But the point is that the origination of the frequency of what this is begins in the black men and the black women.
That's crazy
with hip hop. But as far as gangster shit, we inherited it from our slave masters. All right, now the loop is closed. Gotta make sure the loop is closed. Jumping all over the place.
Nah, for real. That's
racism is a structural concept. There's no difference between people, right? But then you go into the history of other cultures and you learn that if racism exists here, then it makes sense that royalism here exists. Example, you come from a lineage within a land that has always been considered to be like the royal cloth, the ruling class. You know what I'm saying? Your father's the king, your mother's the queen. You have uncles who rule different provinces across the land. That everybody's paying their tithes and their money to your father. So you can't go out and just be with the random peasant. You can't. You know how you know this story is true? Romeo and Juliet.
Facts.
Now, of course, it looks different from that perspective because then it doesn't look like it's based on color. But mind you, it doesn't change the fact that it is still based on discrimination and separation. We are of nobility. We come from a long line of money and power and politics. You cannot be out there fucking with the blacksmith's son. What are you doing? This brings shame to the name. But when we get to the future and we have racism and it exists as a construct, and yet in society, separate from racism, royalism still does exist. Example, I'm watching The Sopranos this morning. No, last night. The episode is Tony Soprano's daughter goes to college. He home one day, and where she only goes to college like 30 minutes away. So she's home one day. He comes home. His daughter's friend is there. He's sitting on the couch watching something while she's upstairs getting her shoes. She comes downstairs. She introduces him. She goes back to let her father and him talk because she sees the moment unfolding. As soon as his daughter goes upstairs, he's trying to tell him in a sideways way, like, you know where you at? You know who I am? So, do you know who we are? And then in Italian, he said some things like, so do you know El Mulian is? And he said something else that I thought was fly, even though I knew it was a slight to black people, right? I just can't remember what it was, but he then told her, look, man, well, if you understand this, then you know that this ain't gonna work. So when you leave here, you're not gonna tell my daughter about this, and not only are you not gonna tell her about this, when she drop you off, you're gonna stay away from my daughter from this point forward. What he's speaking to is the fact that in his heritage, the era of Italian that he came from in the mafia, my daughter can't be with no nigga.
That's true.
Now the thing is among his people, I know that was acceptable. You know how you know it was acceptable? Because when you go through the history of what they were prior to us, you don't see none of that in their history, like in marriage and none of that shit. You don't see it. Even though you can go to movies like American Gangster and you can see where we did business dealings. But mind you, he made it very clear in the show. Tony Soprano was like, yo, man, my people, I don't want my people with your people, and your people don't want to be with my people. So we should keep it like that. Now, mind you, is that considered to be racist? Yes. Separate from the racist part, though. What he's saying is yo, I want to keep my blood away. Now the question is that wrong? Is it wrong? If royalism existed, and mind you, even when we look at the royal family today, what's that, the actress chick who married the prince?
Yeah, I know you're talking about. I'm blanking on her name though.
So am I, but I only bring her up because of how you could openly see she was being treated by the royal family. Now, even though over here in America, she looked like, just a lightly mixed white chick, over there, they see her as a black girl though.
Crazy.
You see what I'm saying? And in mind you, like being able to just unthread that. Because, yeah, when you think of racism as a construct, well, then if it's a construct, then why is it so important? You know what I'm saying? And then when you think about it, it's like, then, and if it's a construct, then why is it so easy for melanated people, specifically black people, why is it so hard for us to accept that when it comes to our own bloodlines, and yet we accept it when it comes to theirs? Like, we can accept that as niggas, you don't want us a part of your shit. You know what I'm saying? And if we are, it has to be, under certain terms and conditions. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, one of the things that I think is funny that I heard is the fact that there's no white Washingtons. Like, as a last name? I don't know if this is true or not. Now, coincidentally, I've never met a white Washington. But the story is supposedly that George Washington only passed on his name to his to his slaves. Now, that's crazy because it's like, if that's the case, then what is your actual lineage called?
Right.
And it's just, bro, think about it. Like, I have it, you don't like, our founding fathers, like, we don't have people who pop up and say, yo, I'm related to such and such. Like, it doesn't really and if it is, it's like a secret. And if it is a secret, we know why. This is how we keep our shit intact. We don't explain how this bloodline works. But then to know that all of the Washingtons I have met were all black, which means you come from this line, even if you were married into it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that's acceptable, right? Even though we know that, like, in real life, up until, I believe it's from like 57 or 58, and she's from Virginia. Like, miscegenation laws and laws against interracial marrying there were laws against it. You were not allowed to miscegenation, having a child with a race outside of your own, and marrying. That as a black woman, she married that white dude, and they went to prison for it in the 50s. The point is if you can implement these laws as the ruling class, right? And yet within the ruling class, you could break the law based on the structure and the system that you have. So you could sleep or have relations with your slave because they were considered property. So you do what you do, and if you got them pregnant, whatever, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You might take care of them, you might not. They might just become a part of the institution of slavery. They might, within that institution, they might become house niggas because you can't allow your kids to become field niggas. Right? And yet, in today's world, fast forward, like, the argument about race and how it's so fucked up becomes like a bigger argument for, like, black people across the spectrum. Like, that, it's like, what do you mean? Fuck that racist shit. Yo, I'm gonna be who I want to be with. I'm gonna do what I want to, and you do that. Do it. Like, that's not even my argument. Like, it's not even that. It's about the fact that it's so acceptable for us to accept that it wasn't cool over here for so long. And still to this day, depending on the bloodline that you come from. And yet amongst us, the argument is fuck that racist shit. Fuck, I'm gonna be with who I want to be with. I'm gonna do what I want to do. So it's like, why is it like that? Like, why is it so important for us to be in other parts of society that are not our own, and yet those other parts of society make it clear that you're not supposed to be over here?
Personally, I think it could be multiple reasons that add to the thing. One of the big ones I'm thinking is slave owners were women. You know what I'm saying? So now I start thinking about that, and I look at today, I look at people that look like me, and majority of those folks, their mama white, their daddy black. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine or whatever. But when you just start kind of like looking at the numbers and then you're looking at the history or whatever, it almost don't become like an accident. None of that shit's a coincidence. It's not a damn coincidence every fucking time. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
No, not at all.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it has something to do with that. Then you got to think about like, I seen this revelation. Like, I'm sure you've seen it play out during your time on the inside or whatever. You see it play in more like authoritarian style, like institutions, where it's like you tell people a bunch of stuff that they can't do, they're gonna do it.
That's a fact.
You get what I'm saying? And it almost like kind of like conjures up this desire with
to go and do it.
Yeah, I mean, and we see it play out in other ways. It's with even people we know, our own family and stuff like that. Like, you tell your kid, don't touch the stove, it's hot. The only reason he gonna stop touching that damn stove is because he done touched that damn stove and burned the shit out of himself. You know what I mean? You tell them no or whatever. You tell them you shouldn't do that. People get curious, naturally curious, and they want to go find out. I think it kind of, I don't want to use a word like fetish, but like it almost kind of like builds that up. Like, even in maybe I shouldn't say this on camera, but like, take for instance, my mom worked with a lot of with like Indian folks, like in the medical field, right? And one thing I know about them, the only people that's really finna marry in outside of
exactly,
it's like white folks.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
It's very rare, whatever.
Exactly.
But because of that though, too, because I know that and I seen that and I just seen how I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It's some bad Indian, baby.
For sure. For sure.
Anyways.
But you can't be mad at them for protecting their bloodline. If they believe that that's important, and in doing so in however they deem fit.
Yes.
Mind you, and if that's not true, the same people, man, going back to the conversation, because I'm gonna jump to a different area of this in just a second, but just to bring it a full circle moment, to be in the mafia, man, you had to be Italian. And not only did you have to be Italian, you had to be, your family bloodline had to be traced back to a specific place, which means that anybody you brought into this through marriage and shit, it couldn't just be anybody. It couldn't be. It could not be. It was a rule. And yet we accept that. Now mind you, I have to accept it because it's not my culture. So I'm accepting it as an observer. But if I was a part of it, I would have to accept that as, no, this is law. This is law. So why is that acceptable as law to me and knowing I'm not one of you? Because I've been taught to this is acceptable. All right, I'll get away from that for just a brief moment. Different circle. I'm in prison. You know, prison is made up of a bunch of gangs. You got Spanish gangs, black gangs, white gangs, all kinds of gangs. Crips, Bloods, MS-13, all kinds of gangs, right? 9 times out of 10, it's strange. It's normally only the black gangs that have people in them who are not black. Now, mind you, depending on where you're at in the world, you have to go and be with your people. That's just the rules of prison. I'm speaking about the Virginia prison system, which is very much the same in its own right. And yet I was in the Virginia prison system in the 20 teens when it came about, like they started having like white bloods. I seen a white blood. And by the way, I had an issue with, he was super cool. He was my man and shit. But I remember we had a thing amongst each other one day because I heard him say the word nigga. And it led mine, you know, I do this thing, you know, I get in front of people, I talk, you know what I do. This is my nature. In a room of about 40 niggas, gods from the Nation of Gods and Herbs, a couple of brothers from NOI, a bunch of gang members and shit, I made him an example. Because he thought he was so black that he could say nigga in a room full of blacks. And mind you, you are a blood, which now takes on the black thinking that comes with gang culture. But bro, you're not. But and mind you, that day that became a part of the whole, why do we accept people who are not our own into what we do so easily, and why do we like that? That's another thing. Anyway, one of the things you run across in prison is the gangs, the white gangs, like the Nazis, the ABs, all that kind of shit, right? I knew a dude who was all right enough to talk to amongst them, all right? He had the tattoo across the back of his head. It said 12. If you are part of that culture, then you know what those 12 are. He was the one who introduced me and my man on the rec yard. We out there doing pull-ups. And now that I think about it, as I go back to it, I think that around that time, either he was getting ready to leave it or he had left their thing. This is how he was outside on the rec yard talking to niggas. And he was telling us how, amongst y'all people, one of the things that y'all live with is one drop of black, you black. He was like, and I'm talking about the nigga standing there was like, yeah, for sure. And he was like, indeed. He said, where do you think you get that from? And of course it's like, well, I mean, it just makes sense. And he was like, no, that comes from, this is a white man telling us, no, this comes from white people. He was like, it's not that you accept the fact that one drop of black makes you black. It's the fact that we accept it. One drop of black makes you black. That changes the perspective.
Yeah.
If that's the case, what does it mean that you're not? You ain't one of us.
Yeah, you not us. Not even close.
So in real thinking, then technically it's not a compliment. It's a slight. It's fucked up.
It is. Damn, man. That happens socially too.
And a white man told me that.
Yeah.
I appreciated that piece of knowledge.
I remember studying in school, like some sociology and everything like that. And I remember how we was kind of getting into this, like you take somebody that's mixed. They ain't even got to be black and white. Like let's do something different. Let's say they like, I don't know, Korean and like
Mexican.
Yeah, Mexican or whatever. Right? Like whatever race is deemed to be like considered like lower in class, like depending on the situation, people will avoid referring to themselves as that. Like, for instance, if you Korean and Mexican type shit and you think that like Koreans are supposed to be better than Mexicans for whatever reason, and you in a job interview or whatever, 9 times out of 10, the person will be like, I'm Korean.
But if you grow up
and go and acknowledge the other shit.
But if you grow up in a neighborhood, say where there's no Koreans and it's all a Spanish gang.
Definitely, like, I'm 100% like,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By the way, just going back to that Tony Soprano scene.
Yeah.
That's what he asked, dude. He's like, what are you? He was like, my dad was this. He was like, my mom was a doctor or some shit. He was like, my dad was. He was like, no, like what are they? He was like, my dad is Jewish, and my mom, she's black and shit. He was like, so what do you consider yourself to be? And dude was confident. He was like, I'm black. I'm black. And he was like, exactly. So check this, and that's when he said the other shit.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But that's So even when you think about that, and in mind you, as I'm looking at the scene, like, even though he would consider himself to be that, depending on where he's at in the world among other blacks, they might not look at him in that way.
Happens all the time.
I know you deal with this, and in mind you, where you at in the world will determine the way in which you carry it. Going back to prison, I don't know this nigga's name. Even if I did know, I don't know if I'll say it, but I don't even remember his name. It's always important. I try to remember names, but when I was in prison, there was this big black, I'm talking, this nigga was huge, 6'something", 2'something", covered in tattoos, light-skinned dude, and his hair was kind of like brownish, like auburn. Like that part I remember about him because he was covered in tattoos. But he was a part of the AB dudes. Had a big, man, it made no sense. Had a big ass tattoo on it. What the fuck? He had some weird tattoo that was about them on his back. And I remember he was the only one from amongst us who was with them all the time. All the time. He did not like niggas. He did not talk to niggas. He only talked to them.
That's crazy.
We'll say that, but then let's just go back in history for a second, right? So, you ever seen the movie Colors?
Colors.
Yeah. There's a movie called Colors. It's from the 80s. It's about gang culture in LA at the time, right? Crips, Bloods, Spanish dudes. The Spanish gang in it, it was a black dude amongst them. This is a Spanish-speaking gang. And this is LA in the 80s.
Yeah, that's rough.
So when you think about how did you get here? Like, knowing, mind you, I ain't from LA, but I know people out there, I know some things, like, to know, like, gang culture out there. That's it's not like the regular. Like the mixing like that, it's not super duper regular like that. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. We know it does.
There's a dude on the internet, his name is King Nico, and he's black and Mexican.
And he was on Adam 22,
yep.
And they were asking him about saying nigga.
Yeah.
I remember.
That's his whole get up.
Even though he claims being Mexican, he says nigga.
Yep.
I remember.
Yep.
Bingo. You flip-flop depending on what part of society you're in. Mind you and I have had, and then mind you, even in that, like, we've had the conversation, like, we live in there's a video of a dude out here right now from Denver. I seen this video on TikTok. He has a video, well, it had a lot of views on TikTok, but he was like, he said, if you in Denver, you gonna hear a Mexican say nigga.
Oh, for sure.
Why is that not strange?
To me, it is. Hey, listen, y'all. To me, it's strange as hell, but it's so.
Shout out to my brown brothers, my Mexican brothers. But like, if we know that in real life, like culturally, like, that's not a part of what you are.
Yeah, nah. Because where I came up, even in school and all of that extra stuff, like, I'll tell you this story offline all the time, man. Like, where I was at, like, it's basically the population was small enough to where actually, like, most of the Latino culture just banded together. That means despite being Puerto Rican or
Indeed.
El Salvadoran or whatever, like, they just linked up, like, through their language.
Indeed.
Type shit. And one thing that was not flying, bro, was like, the Latinos was not really messing with the black folks, and even in town, bro, like it's not like out here where you just pull up and you can get some tacos and have a casual ass time and you can enjoy the culture and the food and shit like that. Like motherfuckers is not fucking with you, and also they weren't saying words like that. Like it just wasn't a thing. So then coming out here, it is kind of weird, but it's so prevalent that you assimilate to it going on. You know what I mean? Like.
It wouldn't be so weird. It wouldn't be so weird if we were just living and unified amongst each other like that. It wouldn't be so weird. Right. But we're not. That's what makes it weird. Now, mind you, going back to what you just said about Latinos in your community, right? In the communities that I was from, on the East, and back in Virginia, back in DC, my father's a New Yorker, my mother's from Ohio. Like, most of the Latinos I knew were Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Panamanians, shit like that, right? When you look at them as a people, they look like most of the communities we come from.
Yeah.
So you might speak Spanish, but you look black.
Yep.
So if you say nigga, it's not weird. You see what I'm saying? Like, but Puerto Ricans and Cubans and those kinds of Latin parts of the Latin community aren't the same as the parts of the Latin community over here. And so there's mind you, I was just with a man, and I'll leave it at this. I was just with a Mexican brother the other day, and he was telling me how when he went to New York, because I'm telling him like about East Coast slang and shit. So he saw our video about us talking about the black man and the brown man, all right? And so I'm like, bro, where I'm from, I'm like, black men, niggas run, Poppy, yeah, where Poppy at? And he was like, bro, that's crazy. He was like, I was in New York. And he was like, I was trying to talk to some Puerto Ricans. He said, but they speak a different kind of Spanish. He was like, so I only understood bits and pieces of it. He said, but the funny thing was that he said they kept calling me Poppy.
Yeah, it's different. Hey, for all of y'all viewers out there, let it be known, there are black people all over the fucking planet.
Facts.
If you don't know the history, like, supposedly, like, remember we was talking about this earlier, so transatlantic slave trade, like, only a fraction of us came to the Americas, bro. The rest of people got dropped off other places. So let it be known that there's black folks everywhere. However, I do wanna point out that, like, Cuban, Panamanian, like Puerto Rican, like that represents a strong Afro-Latin culture. This is where you get salsa and bachata and merengue and all of this extra stuff. That's black folks, bro. Listen to the drums. You know, what you don't hear about a lot, though, is the black population coming from places like Mexico. You get what I'm saying? This is where it's kind of different. You know what I mean? And things do change. Like I barely even see, like, through my time in the dance community or whatever, even see them acknowledging that history of that. Even though there's black folks that live in Mexico, there's a good population size or whatever. Anyways,
Depends on where you at.
I only bring it up to bring it back to just people out here saying that the N-word, and why we identify with this culture and that culture and why we picking and choosing. It's a lot of, it's not like in some ways it's ahead socially. You know what I mean? The fact that we can socially accept that and people ain't getting knocked off left and right for just using everyday language like that or whatever, you know? But in other ways, it's kind of like ass backwards, because at the same time, while all of that's flying socially, like, people still not fucking with each other.
It's fucked up because, like, I could think of so many slurs for, like, people across this planet. Like, I could think of so many, man. But, like, nigga is the only one that's, like, cool. Like, and in mind you, like take, like, you know, no slight, you know, just because we were just talking about the Latin community, like, you don't hear nobody running around talking about, what's up, Spick?
Type shit. Yeah, you never.
Like, that's not popular. Like, it's not popular culture. Mind you, I've heard, like, yo, man, it's fun. I was watching The Sopranos. Dude was talking about doing a deal with, like, somebody from the Middle East somewhere, and he said, fucking towelhead saying nigga. You know what I'm saying? But, like, you don't hear that used as, like, regular terminology.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's nigga. It's nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have the word cracker, but cracker isn't popular like nigga. Like, it's not, we don't use any of those terms as a term of endearment. In any way, it's only nigga. Only nigga.
You trying to figure out why that is. But I think this, at least my simple answer is because just like everything in the world, you know what I mean? We took a thing and then we made it cool. And like everything else, like the culture, the clothes, the music, the style, the swag, people adopted it.
But even in that, right? So going back to you're making a thing cool, right? As we said before, necessity is the father of invention. Well, how do you make a thing cool? Like, what was the process that we went through to make a thing cool? Like, when I think about making a thing cool, I think about the fact that we were forced to accept something, and so in turn, we found a way to just live with it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, that's how.
This is how we get the chitlins. Like, when you talk about, like, food, like,
That's how we get to the crawl boils, bruh.
Like, what the...
Y'all killing me with that, sucking on these weird ass fucking freshwater shellfish, man. Hey, there's no shade to y'all who like the boils and shit like that, but you gotta understand, bro. That was like literally bottom of the barrel food they was feeding us, bro. And look, niggas is like,
We love catfish. Black people love catfish.
Yeah.
And yet we know factually it is a bottom feeder.
Yeah, it's a bottom.
We love it though.
Yeah.
We love it smothered too. And yet you know where you're not gonna find it? In upper levels of society.
That type shit.
You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why the food that we appreciate is called soul food.
See, but that even goes to the whole thing, like you were saying. I think you're right. It's just that like we take for some reason, I just think it's just in us, man. Like you take the worst of the thing and you're gonna have a good time. Taking just shitty situations and making the best out of it. You know what I mean? I think that's the difference, but I think that's really what separates it.
Bro, so I'm glad you said that. So just going back to culture, right? Because I was somewhere the other day and somebody was like, oh shit, you can tap the EBT card now? And I was like, I guess, yeah, for sure. Like, you definitely tap that bitch. I mean, why couldn't you? Why? Like, I get it. And the idea is that it's the EBT card. It's the food stamp card. But, like, you're using the food stamp card like a debit card, all right? Popular culture, and in that, you know, going back to the whole, you know, we all want to feel like we came from the hardest places. I grew up on government cheese, big-ass can of peanut butter, da-da-da-da-da, you know, all of that, right? But it was to know that in real life, the part of society that needed assistance from the government was primarily Caucasian, the dominant race. Yeah. It wasn't blacks and browns.
Yeah.
All right. And in mind, when you think about the fact that, like, fast forward, like Brett Favre, a famous quarterback in the NFL, you know, had a case for a government, I believe, like something having to do within that area, like a government assistance. He had a fraud case for that you know disappeared or something. You know what I'm saying? Like they talked about it in the news, then it went away. To know that they're the ones who not only need it the most, but they're also the ones who defraud the system for it the most, right? And yet popular culture amongst us was we sold food stamps for cash. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, this motherfucker still on that shit.
But mind you, how does a people who's not the dominant recipients of it become popular for doing that?
Man, I think it's just the rhetoric. I think it's just the rhetoric and just the shaping of the public perception, honestly. You know what I mean? So I just think this is the public shaping of it, you know. Also, real quick, I do want to tell you, I did find out that SNAP benefits is also handled by the Department of Agriculture, and so it is related to farming. I didn't know something about like offsetting like harvesting seasons and shit, but same fucking difference though, right? Like,
but you know it's wild because like to learn that, but then to know that like most of the people or not, or a segment of the population, a large segment of the population that will receive SNAP benefits are in places that would be considered to be like food deserts.
Huh.
Like, you know, a food desert is anywhere that's considered to be a mile from fresh food.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're not within a mile of, you know, a corner store or bodega that has fresh food or a grocery store.
Yeah.
Right? You're in a food desert. So imagine how strange it is that the people who finance our farms would turn around and give money or assistance to people who are nowhere near where fresh food normally is. Like, you know, we could go down a crazy hole with that. Yeah. Yeah, man. You know, just all of that stuff, man. Like, it's the strangeness of it all. You know what I mean? But whatever. Random jump. Yo, man. Keep the motherfucking 304s out your crew. For real, man.
Oh, man.
Dog, like,
oh, man.
I'm talking about, I'm so sick of man. One of the things that I keep recently seeing is like, yo, if you a man out here, stop being a man killing men over women. I'm talking about dudes are losing their minds recently. And the thing is, it's like 9 times out of 10, y'all out here, I'm talking about brothers is losing their lives left and right behind no good ass women. For real. Take the time to go find a better class of women, y'all. I'm dead ass, bro. I'm dead ass. Keep the 304s out of your circle. They ain't gonna do shit but break your shit up. And the thing is, as I'm thinking about it now, I'm thinking about my own circle. Like, for real. Like, I'm thinking about the fact that, like I know, like, I had brothers, but I'm tired of watching, like, brothers fall off behind, like, females in the community. Like, I'm tired of that shit. Like, if you can't keep what you doing where it needs to be at, keep that shit the fuck out the space so we can continue to build. Like, a lot of things are falling apart behind it. Straight up. So, yeah, man, keep the 304s out your motherfucking circle, dog. And that goes for niggas, too. Hoe-ass niggas, too. Straight up. Because, mind you, we ain't even got into the fact that, like, like, for real, like, I don't even have a problem with saying this punk-ass nigga name, but it's about the fact that, like, the people who are watching this don't know him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why give him any light? But, yo, here goes something for y'all to think about. Like, creatively, keep the people who ain't handling things creatively the way that you might out of your circle. So here's an example. I had a dude who was a part of my crew. I fucked with him, you know what I'm saying? Part of our crew, you know what I'm saying? As you know, home team forever. Super cool at one point, whatever, right? So when you talking about, like, trying to build, like, a circle in hip hop, like, if you're not coming into this as, like, as a solo artist, you're not, 9 times out of 10, like, you're building, like, a rap clique of some sort, or like a label, right? Or there's, like, a group of y'all who may do similar things, and so because of it, you're traveling together, right? So, you know, you create things together, you do things together, you might develop things together, but as with any circle, you normally have, like, people, a person or people who represent, like, the driving forces of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the real role players. You are a real role player. Myself, real role player. A couple other people I can name. My man Face, certified role player. You know what I'm saying? Like, people who, and mind you, they're and I say role player in the fact that they have the ability to make what's happening continue going. Like, because of them, it keeps going, right? But then you'll have the people who are there who just like background. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't necessarily have, like, a driving force in the ideas that we have or the things that we're getting done, but you are there when it's happening. And you might have something to add to it because we brought you into it, right? I think about that in the fact that, like, yo, my nigga, like, you and I, like, a couple other people, like, we've done a lot in the last year. Like, for real, bro. Like, we've done a whole lot. Like, the home team name exists because of the things that we've done. You know what I'm saying? For those who know what Beats Bodega is, those who know, like we've done things in this space. Like, even this. You know You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that we're consistent and we're having these conversations for the community, authentic N words, come and tap in, right? Like we've done shit. But like I can think of the moments in which I was in with a bunch of people who might have been around who aren't here currently, they didn't do a motherfucking thing. And mind you, I run across people similar to our situations who deal with that same bullshit. Like, yo, I'm trying to build something. I'm out here, I'm building. I'm struggling to get the finances up and to get a platform up and going, to get these shows, to avoid gatekeepers, to avoid slimy people who are in the space that, you know, offer bad business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing my best to tiptoe through that shit, stomp on it, whatever the case may be at the moment. But you get in these motherfucking spaces with these, with the energy leeches.
That's really what it is. That's really what it is, man. And just real quick about the 304s, and they really succubuses and energy vampires.
That's exactly what they are. That's exactly what they are. You a vampire, you a succubus, you a leech. Like you are a blood sucker. You are an energy taker. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is like half the time, most of the time, if not all the time that you're taking it with like nothing behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the people I'm thinking about now that were a part of this thing that are no longer a part of this thing. Like I remember like when you home team every motherfucking Thursday, motherfuckers want to yell it at the top of their lungs. Like all the footage we got, like of people yelling it at the top of their lungs. Peace Bodega, home team, Rian and Duece, you know, you rapping all my lyrics and all this other shit, you know, but you never brought anything to it. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't bring like a service. You didn't bring a piece of merch. You didn't bring an idea.
Album, man.
Oh, Nick. So going back to the nigga I'm talking about now.
Man, you ain't even bring a new album, bro. You ain't even bring a new single out. The new single was matter of fact, and then the single. My bad, but and then the damn single was forged out of a moment that you didn't even curate, nigga.
Oh man, you talking about Cole Connect? Yeah, you talking about Cole Connect. Yeah. When Cole Connect see this, he'll know what the fuck we talking about. So let me tell you about this nigga Cole Connect, right? So I got this collective, we building this thing. So I have an issue with somebody in our collective, right? And mind, this goes for anybody who has this for anybody who this might exist for. So say you have a collective of people we're creating. I'm bringing you into my idea, right? I bring you into my idea, we create, right? Somewhere in the process of that, we're no longer cool, right? In the process of whatever's happening, deteriorating, we come to the agreement, yo, the shit that's mine, that I created, that I brought you in on, that shit belongs to me. The shit that you curated, that came from your brain, your idea, belongs to you. So imagine how lame it is later when you see that person using your idea. And mind you, I know I'm not the first, you not the, mind you, I tell you all the time, yo, look at all these motherfuckers out here using what you just did, using your angle, using the shit you just put on the screen, all that kind of shit. Oh shit. Look at them out here using Face's description on them having their open mics. Everything is free 99 now. I know factually that came from my man though.
Yeah.
But everything is free 99 now. You know what I'm saying? And different shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody is fucking... Anyway, yo, it's crazy. I had a nigga walk up to me the other day talk about, yo, peace, son. I was like, yo, dog, I thought you was from Colorado. Fuck you talking about peace, son. Fuck. All right, cool.
I'll let you have it.
Like, come on, dog. Like, be who you are. Like, why are you trying to be me, be us? Like, what the fuck? Anyway, so later, I see this clown ass nigga on the internet using my idea. But then I guess in your mind, it's like, oh, I know what to do to him. Whack ass nigga. I know what to do. Then what you do? And I guess it's like your fuck you to me. But in reality, technically that's like really copyright infringement. Like this was shit that belonged to me. The idea for the song was mine. The verse that you brought to it, you could rap that shit anywhere. Why the fuck are you rapping it on this? This was brought to you by me. The other verses that you rapped on it, you wrote those for songs that I brought to you. But now you running around talking about some Cold Connect revamp. What the fuck is a revamp except a do-over, nigga? Fuck out of here, nigga. You ain't no chief. You not no general. Like the reality is, like I'm sick of these idiot niggas. To keep it real, and the truth is, and then it be even worse. Niggas be pretending to be hard, and you know that they not. You know I'll run the fuck down on you. Now the truth is I would rather pull up on you and give you this knowledge yourself. I'd rather leave you in peace. I'd rather give you some knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and us have a bond that could travel through life together. Or we just do what other human beings do and we ignore each other. But if you have the nerve to do something retarded, like do something like that and bring me into it as if like I won't create like a bigger moment, like, come on, dog. Like, what are you doing? How the fuck do we get the, yo, most of the niggas who watch us don't even know, like, if you do watch us and you are from here, then you know who is, and a fucking idiot. If you don't know who because you're not from here, you know who he is now because you watch this on the internet destroying this clown ass nigga. Straight like that. Songs, for content, all kinds of shit. And yet it stemmed from the same thing. Yo, you wanted to get on the internet and you wanted to disrespect me. You wanted to disrespect my man Face. You wanted to disrespect Home Team with the idea of, yo, fuck these guys. I'm better than them. No, you're not. You not better. The other nigga I was talking about not better. None of the people who were a part of this that decided to not want to be a part of this no more, none of them are better. The reality is if we really wanted to make it like a point, like we could go through like all of the content that like we have and prove like when you were popping in a certain way and what it looked like now. Most of the motherfuckers who were a part of this that would attempt to disrespect this ain't doing shit now.
Nope.
Ain't doing nothing.
Hey man, just keep working your job. Make sure if you got 401k match from your employer, you go on and just match them with that.
Yeah, do that.
Just be that. You know what I'm saying? Be a chef. You know?
Be the laborer you are.
Yes.
Yeah, man, be the laborer you are. Go and work for a group of people you know you don't want to work for, you know, and work on your little raps, you know, on your lunch break and shit.
Mm-hmm. And we'll see you at the next open mic.
Maybe.
Right.
Like the reality is like, for the people who are doing what they need to do that. Like, and the people you need to ignore who you don't feel are like helping you get to where you need to go, continue to do that too. Ignore them, you know, avoid them. But for the people who's wasting time doing nothing, attempting to interfere with the plans and the designs of those who are actually completing things, yo, man, that's not a good idea neither. Especially not for me. Like, the reality is like, yo, I'm out here doing what I'm doing, and I'm gonna continue doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go where I wanna go. I'm gonna do what I wanna do. I'm gonna associate with the people I wanna associate with. And I'm gonna do my best at, as anybody who runs across me knows, and not in the fake way. You know, I pull up, you know, it's all peace with me for real. And, you know, I'm not the phony nigga running around like, oh my God, it's all peace, y'all. We got to get our stones and our rocks together. And we got to make sure that the rainbow is right and everything is up. Nah, fuck that, because that's not real peace, bro. That's not real fucking peace. Real peace isn't just calm and tranquility. Real peace is the absence of chaos and confusion. So I can still be turned up and yet have a complete understanding and a comprehensive view of what I'm dealing with and be at peace, bro. You know what I'm saying? I could be fucking you up because of the chaos and the confusion you tried to bring. And me destroying that and just while destroying you will bring me peace. That's real. You know? So yeah, man, like avoid the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Avoid the fake creators out here that's probably looking at you trying to steal your idea right now. Like they stole mine.
Oh, man.
Like what the fuck? And you know what's even crazier is later, niggas will see this, and you know what they'll do just to prove I'm right? Mm-hmm. They'll copy this.
I'm waiting for it, bro.
Like, they'll go and sit down, like, who can we call to go and have the conversation right now? Hey, come on, dog.
Yeah.
So you know what you'll be doing? You'll be reacting to what I'm saying right now. So in turn, you'll still continue doing what I started, bro. Oh, shit, damn. My bad. You know I get turned up and shit. But the point is, The motherfucking point. The point is that like you'll still be following the path that we set.
Yeah.
Home team forever.
Hey man, in all honesty, I'm honored. I'm honored. You know, you don't look. I'm cool. You don't have to acknowledge anything. It's just when you start being disrespectful, that's when we have an issue. Or excuse me, that's when I have an issue.
100%.
Like I don't need you to acknowledge the shit I know. You know what I'm saying? The seeds that I'm planting in some of these people's minds or whatever, because they just, you know, whether they need it or whether they actually like what's going on. Like I don't need the acknowledgement there. But when you start dissing the people, disrespecting, moving in ways that's not honorable, you know what I'm saying? Like that's when the issue arises. And then that's when we gotta be like, that's when I gotta be somebody that I'm not really trying to be. You know?
Yeah, that's when we gotta get on some other shit.
Yeah.
Like, and the reality is, you exactly right, B. That's really what it's about. It's about the disrespect. Like, the truth is like, we ain't all gotta be cool. Like, they sitting around even pretending that is bullshit to begin with. Listen, man, all that kumbaya shit, like, yeah, all right, cool. Like, even the conversations now that's recirculating about, like, yo, the unity in the community. The truth is ain't no unifying nothing when the truth is like what we're trying to unify don't exist amongst us. Like the idea that we're gonna unify simply because we're all artists, yeah, that sounds good and it feels good, but it's not realistic. And so because of that, it's the disrespect that brings us here. Because if we can get away from, all right, if you're gonna pretend like this, that is gonna lead to its own thing. If we're not pretending, that's its own thing. At some point, though, we know and understand that like the pretending is what like drives this shit.
So
that's why.
So like, if you're talking about character and you talking about seeing through the bullshit, come on, man.
Yeah,
Like,
keep
see
the
it for what
disrespect
it
to
is.
yourself, man.
Like, just keep that there. And if you want to engage, by all means, it better be fucking constructive. Because if it's not, bro, like.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Keep the disrespect to yourself. Keep the bullshit to a minimum. Do yourself a favor, go create more. Follow our friend B on all platforms. Follow the Frequency Network. Make sure you watch episodes of Authentic N-Words. Keep up with everything Rian or Duece. My Friends Are Killers out now. New music dropping soon. Make sure you keep up with anything Face to Feet, Beast Bodega. And yeah, man. Shout out to the ones that's moving accordingly. Oh, and I'll leave it at this. Cause mind you, man, you know, I'm a conscious nigga. You know what I mean? But I'm a general mind that plays by mafia rules. You understand? Like, mind you, that's why I could say all that shit about in the beginning. Yeah. That's why I can acknowledge the fact that we inherited this. I know that I inherited this, for sure, because I'm living it out. Like, yo, so with that being said, military mindedness, mafia rules. Yeah, yeah.